What's up, guys? Today I thought I'd do a little video on the fun subject of picture discs. Hip-hop picture discs, of course, in this case. And now if you're not a record collector, you might not know exactly what picture discs are, so let me give you a quick rundown explanation first before we jump into it. So, picture discs are not to be confused with picture covers. You know, if you got record sleeves, they can come in, again, this is for the non-record collectors amongst you, a plain sleeve. You see, it's just, it's a record in a generic white sleeve. A sticker sleeve, where, it's a generic sleeve, but they put the sticker on with the logo and some information on to kind of fancyify it up. Or a picture cover, where the full cover is a great big picture, and sometimes they're gatefold and whatever. It's a lot classier, it's a lot nicer, and it's a little bit more expensive to produce, so you usually only see it on more, high-budget albums and stuff, but it's a nicer package. And sometimes you even get records with an amazing picture cover. But in all those cases, we're just talking about the cover. A picture disc is having a picture or artwork on the record itself. And now, again, a lot of records, they'll have their labels, and they might even sometimes have pictures on the labels. I mean, that's pretty standard. This is a nice Rascas colorful illustration there. That's pretty standard. But what's unique, what's rare, is an actual picture disc. A picture disc is where the artwork would continue not just on the label, but actually be the entire record. All, where here it's all black, all the grooves that play are actually continued in part of the artwork. Like so. As you see, the grooves that actually play are on the record are also the artwork. And here's the awesome flip side. So when you lay the needle on it, you're actually playing right through the artwork. Picture discs are rare, and they're especially rare in hip-hop. There's actually very few. This is the So-Called Artists, which was a group that Soul and Alias had together, sort of in the twilight of their Anticon career. Again, largely because they're more expensive to produce, and because they're sort of a novelty, and so they're sort of maintained as sort of like a collector's item. I mean, in this day and age, all records and wax is a collector's item, unfortunately. But when music was mainstream and everybody was buying records, still, the picture disc was a rare collector's item kind of thing. And that's why when you do find it in hip-hop, you usually find it with hip-hop novelty records, like Morris Major and the Miners here. Oftentimes, too, they'll be used for represses, especially like these days when a lot of sort of classic hip-hop albums are getting repressed, like Cold Chillin' stuff and all that sort of thing from Traffic. Heads like us are saying, well, you know what, we got these albums already. We've had these albums since 1988, 1999, whenever they came out. So in order to sort of compel, people such as myself to buy them again, they'll repress them as a fancy picture cover and say, oh, well, you don't have it on, this. Like the Fat Boys, they have one now where their first album is pressed to look like a pizza, and it comes in a pizza box, and that's pretty cool. I actually don't have that, but I do have this earlier example of a Fat Boys picture disc. Right there, how about that? It is, in fact, a record. It's Wipeout, the song they did with the Beach Boys, and it's a giant hamburger with the Fat Boys inside. How awesome is that? And you might also notice this is not round. I mean, it's generally round, but it's not a perfect circle. That's because this is not just a picture disc, but the even more rare and elusive and awesome shaped picture disc. Shaped picture disc means just what it sounds like. It's actually shaped. It's got the sides cut out. It's shaped sort of oblong. It's like a hamburger. A shaped disc can be pretty straightforward. Here's a shaped picture disc. It's just a square. And other times it can be a lot more elaborate, like this Bart Simpson from Deep Deep Trouble, which is the song, remember when briefly when they were putting out Simpsons records and he had a big hit with Do the Bartman, which is also a shaped picture disc, and then he did Deep Deep Trouble, which was with DJ Jazzy Jeff. And so as you can see, it's sort of really elaborate. He's got his arms and legs cut out and everything in his head. But in all shaped picture discs, there will always be, at its center, a basic circle, because it's a record, and a record has to be a real circle. So none of this stuff is grooved, none of this plays. You just kind of drop the needle in the middle there, and that's what spins through, and it's the single. Sometimes a picture disc will come packaged with a backdrop, like this Partners in Crime Turtle Power picture disc, which has, the Turtle Power Ensemble, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles pack record, in front of a mostly black and white, slightly colored in artistic backdrop. And then the flip side, the reverse, is just like a more traditional 12-inch B-side cover. And there's a bunch more I don't have, like I'm pretty sure MF Doom has one, I think DJ Shadow. The West Coast label that did Factor actually did a whole bunch of picture discs with guys like AWOL1, D-Ski. I do have another one of their records, which I'll show you. But they had like a whole line of them for a little while in the early 2000s. So they're out there. Samantha Fox, who isn't hip-hop, but if you know anything about picture discs, you have to know about Samantha Fox because she's released, she released a ton. And some of them are just kind of standard. They're pictures of Samantha Fox, and they're her big hit singles. And then she has a shaped picture disc where she's like jumping out of the record, and I think that's I Want to Have Some Fun. And then she has some more controversial ones, which I'll suggest you Google yourself if you are 18 and older. So that's what they are, and I figure I'll give you a quick look through at some more of my picture discs. One I have, which I don't have to show you right now, though, because I've sort of misfiled it. It's not under the R's where it should be. Is Roland Rat, again, another novelty rap record, where it was a British thing. They had a rat puppet character that used to be on TV, and sort of like Alf, but Roland Rat, and he had a rap record, and that was a picture disc. But I'm going to show you a whole bunch more. Some of them are really cool artwork. Some of them are kind of cheesy and goofy novelty stuff. I got a Shaquille O'Neal record that looks like a basketball, obviously. So fun stuff. So let me just give you a real quick look right now. So yeah, there you go. Just something a little bit different, something fun. Till next time, thanks for watching. I found them.